It's all part of G4ia, presented by EB Games and Jeep.
Stay tuned. The Screensavers, next.
Tonight, inside the case modding world of Gruntville.com. Plus, be the ultimate gamer by adding the best mouse to your arsenal. And Yoshi is at it again, going sleepless, working on his racing addiction mod. Look at those beautiful feet. Live from Tech TV Studios in San Francisco, it's the Screensavers. Woo!
I'm Patrick Norton.
And I'm Yoshi. Thanks for joining us on the Screensavers. Kevin and Sarah are on their way to Tennessee, so I'm filling in.
Yoshi D. Herrera, right?
Yoshi D. Herrera,
Yeah,
yes.
it's like and I am Yoshi.
Well, you know, you got to go with that single name thing.
It's scary. Benefactor of the mods and protector of the tools. Today is the last day of Mod Week. We've got some pretty cool stuff we've all seen this week tonight. No different. We got one more guest modder with his fire case. And Yoshi, you have an out-of-control racing. It's sort of a... It's beyond a mod, I think.
Yeah, it's kind of...
simulator?
A simulator, an addiction, whatever you want to call it.
Yoshi's going to lose a lot of room in his living room next week.
What living room?
That's right, you're in a studio. Joshua's not going to be able to get to his bed from the front door, Yoshi's not going to be able to get to his bed from the front door. But Joshua, how was E3?
E3 was awesome.
For those of us who don't know what E3 is, what is E3?
It's probably, I would say it's the world's biggest video game conference. Every piece of software, every console, every game, every gadget that relates to gaming, people show it off there and show it off to the world. And it was awesome. There was so much. I would say the interesting thing was I would say it was about 60-40, 45, or 55-45 consoles.
Really?
More consoles than
PC games? What about the Mac Linux gaming contingency?
I don't. You have those operating systems, so I don't even care. But next week, I'm going to show you some of the highlights, some of the biggest games that were there, and then, of course, my favorite picks, which are a little different.
Very cool. We look forward to that. Good stuff. And Fu, are you in the Nook?
I am. Joshua got to go to E3,
and you didn't.
I didn't get to go.
Well, you didn't like video games, we thought.
What? I set up the LAN party. That's my job.
Okay, well, next time.
But anyways, give me a call. The phone number is 888-989-7879. You can also email us at thescreensavers@techtv.com. And don't forget, if you have a netcam, you get a free Screensavers t-shirt, which is not so bad. Right, guys?
Yeah. Free stuff for the netcam callers. Right now, it's time for the tech news.
Let's get to it.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Dabber Worm is riding the coattails of the now infamous Sasser Worm. Michigan-based firm LRUHQ, or Lurk, published an analysis online Thursday. Their findings suggest that Dabber's code actually spreads by searching for and infecting computers that have already been infected by Sasser. It's really odd. Basically, it goes in, it sees there's Sassers there, it piggybacks on some flaws in the Sasser code, erases all traces of it, and installs a backdoor. What's that mean? It means a hacker can gain control of your system and use it to distribute stuff, upload stuff to it, use it for massive denial of service attacks. Patch your system, clear out any remains of the Sasser Worm. This is the first of some ugliness involving the Sasser Worm, and it's only going to get worse over time. Just because the kid who wrote it's been caught doesn't mean Sasser's not going to be out there and doing nasty stuff.
Yeah, because you got all these, these people being lazy with their coding and picking up on the Sasser Worm instead of writing something from scratch.
I don't know. I think it's pretty clever. If you know there's 11 million systems out there, or even a million, or a few 100,000, so you can do some nasty stuff.
Not that we like it.
We like that. Well, patching stuff we like.
Like patching, don't like viruses.
So what's up next, Josh?
So X-Prize frontrunner Spaceship One launched on Thursday and reached the edge of space, making it the first private crewed vehicle to reach nearly 41 miles above the planet's surface.
Wow.
The X-Prize competition has a $10 million prize. In order to win, the team must fly a vehicle big enough for three into suborbital space, 62 miles, twice within 2 weeks. Spaceship One was 21 miles short.
That's a pretty good start, though.
Yeah.
If you saw the picture
It's
there.
farther than anyone else has come so far.
Yeah, no, it's amazing. It's actually Burt Rutan's company actually built that. And the ship you saw, the larger ship, basically flies up, launches the smaller ship, which will take off like a rocket. See that big pod in the middle there? Will basically rocket off of there, the one in the lower right-hand corner. That'll make the trip into space and do the re-entry, similar to the space shuttle. If they've got a vehicle that's designed to be launched and then land under its own power. That's going to be amazing.
It's pretty interesting stuff. I can't wait until the first team actually completes it. Then we'll start seeing some really fun stuff.
Yeah, I bet it happens this year. Speaking of happening this year, Yahoo announced yesterday that it would would be upgrading from 4 megs to 100 megs for their free email members. They deny that it had anything to do with the announcement of Google's new Gmail services, which promises to provide 1 gig of free space. It's in beta right now. Premium subscribers to Yahoo Mail, who currently pay between $20 and $50 annually for 20 megabytes to 100 megabytes of space, will receive virtually unlimited capacity, which I think is PR speak for a gigabyte of storage, should Google
how
actually
they came up with that idea.
You know what? It'll be interesting to see. Google's in beta on the Gmail, but we don't know if it's going to become a pay for product, if it's going to be free. It's going to be interesting to see.
I would think
when
with a
it becomes
gigabyte,
open.
that's a lot of space. It'll probably become a pay for, in my opinion, down the road.
We'll find out. And Yahoo apparently is watching with bated breath to see what Google does with their email service. That's good, though. So in theory, if Gmail ships and Yahoo backs up what they've done, I'll get virtually unlimited storage on my 25 megabyte account.
True, and I'll have to open one because I actually don't use Yahoo anymore because it was just filled with spam. I let it go.
Just like Hotmail?
Just like Hotmail.
See, I've really found they're pretty good at keeping spam out.
No, I gave up. I haven't checked my Yahoo Mail in probably a year.
They probably closed it.
They probably did.
Andrew joins us on the Tech TV. Should we thank each other for reading the news?
Sure.
Thank you, Yoshi.
Thanks, Pat.
On the Tech TV Netcam Network from Honolulu, Hawaii. Thanks for joining us, Andrew.
Hi.
Hey, Andrew.
How you doing, man?
I'm good.
We gotta pick up the energy. Are you excited? Are you thrilled? Do you have a
Just a
great
little tired.
question for us?
Yes.
What's your question?
Yeah, I'm looking to get a gig of RAM, and I would like to know what would be compatible with the AMD 64.
Well, there's like 9 different kinds of memory that are compatible with the AMD 64. Which, do you know what motherboard you're running?
The A530N HP Pavilion.
Oh, you're running. Okay, so let me say. First of all, let's take a look. We've got the AMD Athlon webpage up here. It's basically depending on how the memory is set up. You could have PC 3200, 2700, 2100, or PC 1600, depending on what motherboard you're running and how you're running the processor. Right. What you need to do, young Jedi, is you're going to go over to something like Kingston, right? And you're going to go into memory search, and you're going to go down here to HP. I'm assuming, of course, you haven't done this already, right?
No.
Okay, so we're going to go to Hewlett-Packard, and we're going to go to Find. And which model number is that again?
A530N.
A530N. Yeah, everyone have one of those moments where you realize that, like, HP makes a lot of systems.
They like using the
okay,
same
we're up
letters.
to A340, A400, A475.
I really
What?
like scrolling through text, too. It's nice and fun.
So where is it again? A530?
Yes.
People at home are going, this is amazing. I never knew they could do this on
30N,
television.
A530N.
30N. We like that. You're telling me, the person in my headphones telling me.
Well, make sure you got it right.
Next thing it's going to come up in a couple seconds. It's going to tell us exactly what kind of memory you can load into your system. How much memory do you have in it now?
512.
512. So basically, you could probably drop in a second 512 megabyte module, and there you have it. Basically, they'll give you the exact, along with their part numbers. What they'll also do is, if you click over here, you can find out exactly what it is. AMD Athlon 64, 3200, PCI, and it should give you the memory speed that's running inside of there. So, whoops. We don't need the Government Services Administration schedule unless you're buying for the feds.
You can also go to Crucial or other places like that.
Basically, and that's the nice thing, is all the memory companies, Andrew, if you have a system that was pre-made for you, if you bought it from Dell or from anybody else, any of the major memory manufacturers is going to have a search thing. It'll tell you exactly what memory to look for. If you have your own motherboard, you can find the listings of the motherboard manufacturer to tell you what kind of memory you can use in the system. But basically, yeah, it's you're good to go. Okay, bud?
Okay.
Good luck, man.
Good luck.
He doesn't sound very excited.
I guess memory is just not too exciting for some people.
You try it, Andrew.
Hey, I like memory. More, better, bigger.
It's a good thing. Do we have the T-shirt? The example T-shirt. I can see you eagerly waiting to throw that at me. This is the T-shirt that Andrew won. Hopefully that will render him some excitement.
Oh, he's getting one of the old school ones.
Yeah, we got the old school ones.
Those are in short supply.
Lifestyle. We're just getting started. Yoshi's got a sweet little mod for you. And up next, we're going to check out modder John Crump's work and get a look at case modding and a community created called Gruntville. It's coming up when the Screensavers continue.
Two of hip-hop's hottest stars are moving into America's most uptight neighborhood.
Sorry about the mess. He's kicking it last night.
I have no idea what that means.
And when you're living this large, only one thing can slow you down.
Hey, Mama. Hi, Mama.
Hi. That's what you get for smoking in the house.
Method and Red, putting the urban in suburban.
You hoochies better stay away from my meatloaf.
Meatloaf. Hoochies.
Premiering Wednesday, June 16th on Fox.
Peace, y'all. We're Blackalicious. Yahoo.
I use Yahoo Search to find other Republican Party animals to party with.
Hip-hop is a way to express yourself.
So that's what it's all about. Partying,
Rapping,
Republicans,
DJing.
money.
I think the thing that's really cool about Yahoo Launch is that it makes music accessible.
And I'm taking my time to perfect the beat, and I still got love for the street.
Music engine, search engine, life engine.
Romantic.
Want to warm things up?
Trojan Man. Looks like you two were about to bump the buoy. Well, here's the new Trojan Warm Sensations condom.
Warm?
Yes.
Cool.
A moisture-activated lubricant creates a warming sensation both can share.
I'm on board.
Warm sensations only from Trojan, America's most trusted condom.
Tropical, dude.
The pleasure you want, the protection you trust. My job is done here.
Surf's up.
It's a chance to interact with Microsoft directly. As a live person, you feel like you're actually a partner with the company. You have a chance to ask questions and get a direct response.
Don't feel too intimidated. So it's like everyone's kind of different backgrounds, different levels.
And they're very helpful with questions.
Yeah.
They're on it, so absolutely free. Absolutely.
Call 877-10SKID or visit technetbriefings.com.
This year's most unforgettable comedy is now on DVD. It's loaded with special features, including deleted scenes, blooper reel, music videos, a making-of featurette, and much, much more. 50 First Dates. Get it today on DVD.
What are you doing?
I just refinanced with Ditech.com. I don't need these anymore.
Refinance your mortgage with Ditech.com for just $395 in lender closing costs. Call 1-800-DITECH-1.
Ever wondered what it's really like to be a soldier?
What do you got?
I have a sit rep from Alpha Company.
15 ready to be verified. Verified.
Put yourself in the picture with this free video. You'll see over 200 great jobs in the Army and over 180 in the Army Reserve. You'll also see what skills you learned, how you can earn money for college, even what soldiers do in their free time. Call 1-800-984-ARMY now and get this free t-shirt and your free video. Put yourself in the picture and see what it's really like to become an Army of One.
I don't know about you, but that exploding Mod Week graphic scares me. Right now, though, Yoshi has a website about his passion for modding. He's not the only one with a passion for modding created a website. Our next guest, John Crump, founded the popular mod website Gruntville.com and joins us now to show off, well, you can see the beginning of it, one of his mods along with his website. Welcome to the Screensavers, John. You're one of Yoshi's heroes. How did you start modding?
I started modding basically on an upgrade, playing games, love Unreal Tournament, and decided I wanted my case to look a little bit different.
So you were LAN partying, had to show off a little bit?
Exactly. From there, I just kind of caught a bug, and actually Grunt was my old dog, and he passed away, and I decided to do a theme case, and Grunt the case came around, and questions came from out of the woodwork, and decided to start a forum, and a couple years later, the site's grown to what it is today.
You made a commemorative grill here of Grunt that you brought in for us.
That is correct.
To show off. So that's him immortalized and fan.
And stainless steel and laser cutting.
Very
We
nice.
like it. Grunt was that your dog?
Yeah, he was an English bulldog, old college buddy of mine.
Very cool.
So what did you bring for us today?
This is fire. This is a new thing we're doing on the site called group theme mods. Basically, we take a topic such as the 7 deadly sins. This one is from the elements. And the members of the forums just pick a mod they want to do. One of the ones that's cracking me up now is sloth. I think there's some remote cup holders coming in that one.
Is that part of like the 7 deadly sins,
It is.
or the fuzzy, scary, slow-moving animal?
It is. There's also the 4 horsemen going, and there's places available too. So if there's modders out there, they can join in and say they want to do one.
Are you running into problems with other people going, hey, I want to do fire too, you know?
I haven't yet. Actually, I came up with a flame design prior to this one, and somebody stole it the day I posted it, so I changed the design, but it worked out for the better. I like these a lot better.
Well, they weren't being original anyway. You got to refine it a little bit.
Exactly. Yeah, I actually hand drew these flames. I didn't do the paint. There's a guy in Kansas City did all the paint on the case. It's just a phenomenal job.
What'd you do to cut out the shape of the flame?
Used a jigsaw for most of the shape, and then used a Dremel to shape it and sand it and finalize the design.
Very cool. Very cool.
We went with the Innovatec cooling system in it and wrapped some silk around the radiator of the
you can
fan.
see the silk flapping in the background there.
And
It gives it the nice motion effect.
You should hold up your
It
hands.
makes-
What are you using for dye in there?
The pink fingers.
Yeah.
It's actually a red powder, and it is actually UV reactive. There's not enough UV light in it now to make it really shine, but there will be.
We understand the UPS guys were playing kickball with this before they dropped it off.
Yeah, actually I did. It has a couple super glued pieces now, but nothing was hurt major.
Hey, thanks, Brown Truck.
Yeah, exactly. One of the other things is the modular power supply in these is fantastic. Frozen CPU threw that out. Basically, it comes pre-sleeved.
Okay.
And you can just order your cables to any length. You can buy a power supply they have, or actually send them your own.
So you spec it out, you say, hey, I want 20-inch cables on there, or 4-inch cables.
Exactly.
That's amazing.
Exact
So that's why it has
measurements,
the orange cables under there. Basically, so the power supply custom ordered, and then you actually pick the color of the cables on that?
And the heat shrink.
That's awesome.
And this one's a PC power and cooling. You can get any brand you like.
Nice.
Is that expensive or?
No, they're really reasonable. Normally like $40-50 more than a normal PSU.
Okay.
What you'd spend in sleeving anyway.
Yeah. And you save the time.
Exactly.
Why reinvent the wheel, right? So when did you start Gruntville?
Gruntville started a little over, right at 2 years ago, about 2 years and a week ago. We started up just as a forum. Now it's grown to a large hardware review site. We also do a lot of giveaways. Right now we have one of our great sponsors, MNPC Tech, threw up a fantastic Gruntville-themed case, and that's going away to one of our readers this month. The forums are really active. We hang around in the work log section a lot. It gives us a lot of ideas.
Yeah, I browsed through there once or twice, looking for ideas and inspiration.
Yeah, there's a lot in there.
How did the Gruntville name come about? I think it has something to do with your dog
It
here.
does.
But
Grunt was known for knocking beers over at parties we had. And,
Grunt the bulldog.
Grunt the dog. And sooner or later it became Grunt Man because I was told I could drink as much beer as he could. And then we did the Grunt the Case, which was probably my most popular mod I've done. Just flooded me with emails and questions of how'd you do this, how'd you do that, and so I started the forums.
Very cool.
From there it was just crazy. It grew like a weed.
Very nice.
So I hear you have a mod on there that you want to put some attention to that
I do.
You think people need to see.
It's definitely one of my favorites right now. The modder is Hobbs, and he's not real well known, but I'm sure he will be once this mod's complete, if that ever happens. He's been working on it about a year now. The mod is Stormbringer, based on the novel. Basically, it's still in its halfway done stage.
You can see sort of the design cues coming in now.
His woodworking skills are phenomenal. These mesh channels here are actually going to be to hide wires, and they'll be lit up with red LEDs all throughout it.
Oh, really?
The
really
attention
cool.
to detail is phenomenal.
And what is this?
That is the PSU cover. The PSU cover on it. He's done this 3 times now because he didn't like the designs. He's somewhat of a perfectionist. First he did styrofoam claws, moved on to something else, and now he's actually done these, molded them himself, similar to Crimson Sky's work. But the power supply has a lot of detail. Modders mesh in between. There's actually a ruby ring on one of the claws, and it all goes with the theme of the novel.
Very cool.
Phenomenal work.
Very cool. Anyone other than Hobbs that you think people should check out that have some mad skills?
Definitely. You'll definitely want to check out Mashy, Corrugated, Crimson Sky, Dick Nervous, The Chronic. There's a ton of them out there.
Here's a dumb question. Why don't any modders use like their normal people names? Is it all because of the registration on the website? Is that all named under?
Everybody uses their nickname. Actually, I've had Gruntman for quite a while, and Hobbs is just a fan of Calvin and Hobbes, so gives you some personality without, I guess, throwing out your personal information around.
Look me up!
Exactly. Oh, you like my case? Here's my address.
Yeah, that might not be a good idea all the time.
Exactly.
Especially Corrugated with that big heavy metal project. A little pricey there.
Yeah, well, at least you don't have to worry about anybody running away with that one.
True. Unless they find the remote.
Maybe.
So what's the next? What's your next modding project going to be, John?
Actually, there's some more work on this one I want to do. I want to throw a little bit more industrial feel to it. I'll have some mesh in the window, a little bit more work to the front, some custom designed fan grills. Then my next mod after this will probably be a small form factor.
Cool.
This is a land rig, but it does weigh in probably 50, 60 pounds, so
it's a bit
I won't be
much to
changing
carry
seats
in.
once I get there.
It's
Very cool. Thanks for coming on, John.
Thanks for having me. It was great.
That was fellow modder and founder of Gruntville.com, John Crump.
Good stuff, John. Ladies and gentlemen, still to come, Yoshi's latest extreme mod. You want a hint? Goes 200 miles an hour while standing still while he's sitting in it. Plus, up next, find out if your motherboards are up to the snuff for a LAN party. It's coming up when the Screensavers continues.
Roswell, New Mexico, 1947. UFO wreckage is discovered and seized by military personnel. It is speculated that the alien technology recovered has been applied to modern-day innovations. To this day, the government denies any existence of alien technology.
Financing available on Alienware Systems.
Hey you, get MCSE, Cisco, or A+ certified, guaranteed, with Smart Certify's fast and easy IT certification courses.
If it wasn't for Smart Certify, I'd still be working a dead-end tech support job.
Smart Certify has one-on-one mentoring and a money-back guarantee. I couldn't lose.
Call 1-877-TRAINING today and mention code TCTV. Or go online at www.smartcertifieddirect.com to get a free course now.
40 million. We're looking at P ratio a little over 50.
Hey, honey, I thought you might want to see this.
Debt, you're looking at
Go ahead, Sam, show Daddy.
Million, 780.
Yeah! Sweet!
Surprise Dad this Father's Day.
Was it 15%?
Get T-Mobile's Family Time Plan. Families talk free, and now get free video messaging.
T-Mobile. Get more.
Now available on DVD.
Attention Fangoria fans, this is Rob Zombie telling you to keep an eye out for the world premiere of Fangoria's Blood Drive.
The 7 hair-raising films that won the first Fangoria Blood Drive competition.
Chock full of stuff.
Plus, 1 hour of rare behind-the-scenes footage with special effects wizard Stan Winston and horror heavyweight Clive Barker.
Won't be the last one without it, kid. Go get it.
Fangoria Blood Drive. Available at all Best Buy locations.
Check this out. This is what we do for a living. We're video game designers. And we're game programmers.
With the training offered at Collins College, you can learn to design, code, and test games like this.
And this.
Game design is a growing career.
For a brochure on a career in game design, call Collins College at 1-888-256-1200 now. That's 1-888-256-1200. Call Collins College now.
Are you getting caught with unhealthy credit card debt as you try to balance your life? There is hope. There's 800 Credit Card Debt, an approved debt management company established to get you back on solid ground.
800 Credit Card Debt can eliminate penalties, reduce interest rates, and make your monthly payments smaller.
Call right now for your free and confidential credit card debt analysis. Call in the next 5 minutes to see how fast you can get out of debt. Call 1-800-453-1306.
G4 TV for gamers and Tech TV are connecting to Form G4 Tech TV. Stay connected. For more information, go to g4techtv.com.
Peyton joins us on the phone from Dallas, Texas. How you doing, Peyton?
I'm doing great. How are you guys?
Hey, Pam, doing good.
How can we help you today?
Has to be the best show on earth.
Thank you.
Namaste.
Yep.
We will not answer any question you want. Uh-oh.
All right. Well, my friends and I are having a LAN party coming up in a couple of days here, and we've been looking through the prize section in our newspaper for the excellent computer deals that they have.
I notice how you kind of put the quotations around excellent computer deals. So you guys actually have a Fry's computer in Dallas?
What now?
Did you say it's a Fry's computer?
No, I'm just like they have a Fry's insert in our paper that has all the deals on it.
Right. So, no, because we have Fry's like here in California, and they're legendary for having like the world's meanest salespeople, and they're always trying to push stuff on.
Really bad customer service.
Yeah. They also it's the only place you can buy heat shrink tubing on a Sunday afternoon, but. It's a really strange store. So anyhow, sorry, a lot of people don't have, like, all in the Northeast, like, nobody knows what I'm talking about.
They've lost the question. They're like, what was the question?
Anyhow.
Get on with it!
Sorry, Peyton.
There's a few motherboards that on there that I noticed, and it said LAN computer motherboard, and I got really confused. And it had all these, what looked like Ethernet ports that you plug Ethernet cables into, but it was the motherboard. Right. Confused me. So I was wondering if there's computers specifically for LAN. I mean, I know there is, but ones that are just mobile, but ones that can't connect to the internet, just...
Well, they might have been saying it has integrated LAN, or they might have been trying to use the catchphrase LAN party and just sell you on it because you're fond of LAN parties.
Yeah, we're that one, like I think it's DFI. I know it's DFI that makes one that's like the LAN Party Pro 875, right? That's what the box looks like.
Hey, it's a cool graphic. It must be fast, So
it's actually, oddly enough, it's actually not a bad motherboard, but it sounds like when they say like LAN computer, do they say if it's an ATX motherboard factor or is it designed for like rack mount systems? Do they give you any more information?
It said ATX, but...
ATX.
I mean, it was about $150, and it just really confused me because I guess there's some computers where you plug an Ethernet cable into the back of it, but I'm just wondering if there's computers like that, and what would be the best deal?
Depends on basically, first you're going to choose your processor, right? Whether you're going to use an Intel or an AMD processor. Next thing you're going to decide is what you want. Whichever way you go, whether Intel or AMD, there are tons of motherboards now that include, as Yoshi was saying, integrated LAN or integrated Ethernet ports, anywhere from 10100 all the way up to gigabit Ethernet right on the motherboard. Integrated audio on the motherboard. You generally don't want, if you're doing gaming, you generally don't want your graphics on the motherboard, right? Because you're going to want to. It's generally really slow, really bad, not good 3D graphics. You're going to want something with at least an AGP slot. So I would sit down. I'd figure out how much money I had for a processor. Figure out I want 512 megabytes to a gigabyte of RAM and the best graphics card I can afford. We did a $500 PC. You could probably soup up the graphics a little farther from that. But yeah, one of the things you want to watch out for, Peyton, and you already kind of tuned on to this, is people will claim a lot of weird stuff in the advertisements, and a lot of times, basically, hardocp.com is a great place for motherboard reviews. Tom's Hardware is a good place to go, and Antec is a good place to go. See what they have to say about the performance of the motherboards and the features. For a LAN party machine, all you need is, if you've got audio and you've got Ethernet on the motherboard, that's great. That means you don't have to buy a separate audio card. You don't have to buy a separate Ethernet card. So for, like $100, $120 in the motherboard, you can have everything you need integrated into it except for the graphics. Don't worry about whether or not it says LAN party. If it says LAN computer, the only thing I can think is if it has multiple Ethernet ports, that can be nice because then you can run one, you can basically run one for your game and run the game server off of another one. But it sounds like if you're attending somebody else's LAN party, just get a nice basic motherboard, that's got the onboard LAN, Ethernet, and has onboard audio. You should be just fine.
Chipset, and if you want dual channel, make sure you get something with dual channel.
Right. Should we explain what dual channel is?
That's next one.
Yeah. Check out hardocp.com. They've got some great reviews. We'll put up a link to the $500 PC. That's a good PC to emulate for an inexpensive gaming system. You should be just fine, Peyton. All right, man. Good stuff. Yep. Here's Dan. He's got some information on where Kevin and Sarah are.
That's right. They've left for somewhere. Let's see. If you're close to or you're visiting Tennessee this weekend, stop by our Digital Digs Roadshow. As a bonus, you get to meet Kevin and Sarah because they're going to be right around the Nashville area. Now, the roadshow hits the Cool Springs Gallery in Hex Court in Franklin, Tennessee, this weekend, May 15th and 16th, and the event runs from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. on Saturday and noon to 5 on Sunday. Now, for more information to learn about all the coast-to-coast stops at the roadshow, go to techtv.com/digitaldigs. And don't forget to check out their moblogs at kevinrose.com and also check out sarahlane.com. They're going to put up their moblog pictures. So, don't go anywhere. Which mouse is the best for gaming? Our lab rats have all the answers to what you're thinking. But after the break, Yoshi's Mod, it's dope, you want it, it's coming up, all that when the Screensavers continues.
I want to be where the action is. Okay, Blackie Chan.
They may be deep undercover.
You sure this is gonna work? Just trust me.
But there's some things they can't hide. From the director of Scary Movie.
Don't hurt yourself, sweetheart.
Don't worry, I won't. You're wearing the wrong underwear.
Sean and Marlon Wayans are
Mama.
white chicks.
He's not what you think. He's a man.
This is some Jerry Springer.
A film by Keenan Ivory Wayans, rated PG-13.
I like things in life that are the best. My best friend. The best shortcuts. The best cuts. And of course, the best place for these. My son. Chris, let me call you back. I'm a little busy.
Now at Radio Shack, get hot deals for Father's Day. Like a Sprint PCS Vision Ready Link Phone RL4920 by Sanyo. Just $49.99 with 2-year agreement.
Did I mention the best sport?
Radio Shack.
Fully independent rear suspension. 5.7-liter V8. 346 limited slip. For impressive balance, great agility, crisp handling. Rear-wheel drive is back. The 350 horsepower Pontiac GTO. Fuel for the soul.
Welcome to the meeting that's nothing like a meeting. No travel, no downtime, just pure collaboration. Microsoft Office Live Meeting, a new service that lets you collaborate with groups small to large. Hold impromptu discussions to high-profile presentations, all with just a phone, PC, and an internet connection. So no matter where you are, it's as if you're all at the same table.
Table 1-5, this is Bobcat 3-6 from weapons, enemy camp. Coordinates to impact as follows. Grid, Echo, Hotel, over. Overwatch. This is O2 in position, over.
I'm Yoshi. And I'm Patrick Norton. Coming up in this half hour, we have a number of gaming mice. We're going to tell you whether or not a gaming mouse is any better for gaming. And later on, we're taking another live call. Right now, though, well, some of us are hooked on Far Cry, some on Evercrack. Yoshi's video game genre of choice is racing car simulation. So it should be no surprise that Yoshi decided to build himself a hardcore racing sim chassis. I think we should show this. Yoshi, why did you build this? I don't know if you can see this whole thing at home, folks. This is like 8 feet long. It's built out of steel. He's got 3 monitors hanging off of it. What were you thinking?
I had like the little small chassis at first. I did the whole, I'm going to set up some like bricks in my house and put a monitor up above so it's close. And I'm like, that's just, that was a little ghetto for me. I wanted to take it up a notch, so I wanted a full-on system.
And let's run from back to front. What's all built into this thing?
Well, basically, of course, we have to have a computer. So I have the Monarch computer systems, the Hornet, which is an Athlon 64 system. I wanted something small that would integrate, because I wanted everything to be attached to it as much as I could. This amp right here is actually powering my Clark synthesis transducer, which we'll show you in a second.
That's the butt kicker.
Yeah, so I got 400 watts going just to the butt kicker.
We'll explain the butt kicker part in a second.
And of course, you got to have an amp for your speaker, so I contacted Denon, got their AVR 5003 reference series flagship, blah, blah, blah.
Could you gone a little overkill on the amplifier?
I could have. I think I have about 20 connections back there, and I'm using one.
It's an amazing amplifier, but it's like, I know people who got 10 grand into a home theater that don't have that much power.
I want to test that out in a home theater environment, too, as well, down the road.
You went for a racing seat.
I went for a racing seat from Corbeau. I wanted that feel, give you that tucked in, kind of almost even claustrophobic feel, but that's part of racing.
Now show the butt kicker. That's like the best part.
Now, if you go down here on the bottom of it, right here, that's a 400-watt transducer, and what that does is it just basically shakes with the bass. It's off the sub channel, so it gives you that immersive tactile sound, as they say.
I'd try to lift the sub up, but I'd probably give myself a hernia. Is this a 15-inch sub?
That's a 15-inch RSW15 sub from Klipsch. It's putting out about 2,500 watts, so, we got some power there.
Nomex?
Nomex, of course. Nomex shoes, Nomex gloves.
You're going for the real SU experience.
Well, those are actually my real driving gloves and helmet and all that good stuff.
Is that like a paddle steering wheel on there?
That is a paddle steering wheel. The steering wheel and the pedals are from BRD Simulations, courtesy of Trinity Racing. And basically, they're a company out of England that makes some just really, really high-end pedals. The pedals are the Speed 7 series, and it's the Pro V2 wheel. And, if you're looking for the ultimate take no prisoners in accurate pedals and steering wheels, this is what it's at right now.
What's a set of steering wheel and pedals like? I mean, they're amazing. It's like
get about $800 a set.
Wow.
So you're not getting a little $100 set from CompUSA.
The monitors?
The monitors are from 9X Media. These are their 21-inch series. They sell them like 3, 4, 10, 16. They'll do whatever configuration you want. I actually have a set of 30s on the way, so we'll have to do an upgrade when we have the 30s coming down here.
How did you build this?
Of course, of the Cinema 8, some clips also.
Is this drawn over mandrel steel, or is it like chromoly?
It's tube steel. It's 1 3/4 inch. It's a real thin wall, kind of like exhaust tubing, because I wanted it to be light enough to work with. Otherwise, I wouldn't have been able to lift the thing when I needed to, do a weld on the bottom or drill it out. Mix some diamond plate in, because I felt it accented it. Did that on the floor. Other than that, it was a lot of cutting. It was a lot of bandsawing, which I actually bought a metal bandsaw for this project.
Because there's got to be like 30 joints in here. So we actually have the stills up.
Yeah, the first still here, that's, the seat had to go in my car for a while with the 5-point harness just to test and make sure it was an acceptable seat for my, particular application.
That's awesome.
There's my pile of steel. As as it started. You can see covered in rust. It was just, second steel, so it's nice and cheap. I started by making the bracket for the seat, which is just square stock. And then I kind of started laying out the tubing in the pattern that I was going to have. I did it all ad hoc. I didn't follow my normal rules.
I was going to say, like, Yoshi's rule of modding is to figure out what you're doing first.
So that's why I was like sitting in the seat there, and I'd sit in it, and I'd measure it, and I'd prop things up, tack it in place, cut.
Is that an arc welder we saw in that last picture?
That was an arc. It's a MIG welder.
Oh, it is MIG
It's
welder.
gasless. It's not a gas shielded. That's you can see the back of the shelf starting to come together there, and that's so when my welder getting a little better as it's going on in the process.
This is your first welding project,
My
right?
very first welding project.
Wow.
Actually, I kind of taught myself through reading online and talking to a few people that knew, but
very cool.
All very stuff. And of
bringing
course,
it to here.
Bringing it to here. I got a lot of really weird looks driving down the freeway with this strapped to the roof of my car.
You think?
Yeah, just a couple.
What was the biggest problem you ran into in designing
The biggest problem was the fact that I did it seat of the pants. I had to remake about 4 or 5 sections of it completely and cut it off, re-weld it. Didn't cut off well. Okay, cut it all off and start over.
It's like fabbing a roll cage.
Yeah, I'd recommend really mock it up at least first before you start going straight to metal.
And the monitors have been a little bit of a problem? Not the monitors,
but
getting the video on all
video.
three.
I wanted the video to span all 3 monitors. I wasn't able to get one of the Matrox Parhelia cards in time, which do work with some of the games that way. So I was trying to, NVIDIA 5950 and a PCI FX52. It just, they work great, but they don't span the game across all 3. So I'm going to have to, if anyone has any tips on how to get those to work that way, I'd greatly appreciate them. Other than that, I'm going to have to maybe go to one of the Matrox cards so I can have my immersive experience.
Yoshi, you're going to climb in and do this. We're going to tell people where to find us. To get the whole scoop on Yoshi's Racing Sim Madness, head on over to thescreensavers.com. He's going to fire up the beast. Right now, though, we're going to check in with Leo over at the bench. He's got a quick tip for us. Leo?
Hey, I want to tell you about Squid today. No, not calamari, although I like calamari. This is Squid, the web proxy cache, a program that comes with most distributions of Linux. It's used by internet service providers and big network managers to speed up internet access. You can use it on your system, too. Squid is a web proxy cache. I know you're familiar with the idea of a browser cache. The idea is it saves data like pictures and heavy data from websites that you visit, and if you go back to that site and it hasn't changed, it just loads it from the hard drive instead of trying to download it again over the internet. That could speed your browsing up by 2 or 3 times, really make a big difference. Well, Squid does that for a whole network. And you'll benefit because everybody who surfs, every page that's gone to by everybody on the network is saved on a Squid cache. So if somebody goes to one site and you go there later, you'll get there very much more quickly. It's a really great thing. It actually does a lot more. The nice thing about Squid is you probably already have it if you have Linux. All you have to do is type where is Squid, and your Linux box will tell you where Squid's stored, usually in the user sbin library. You can look at the Squid configuration file by going to etc squid and editing it. I'm going to use Vim to edit squid.conf. The nice thing about Squid is you don't really have to modify the configuration file. The only thing you might want to change is the port that it uses. It uses by default 3123. You might want to change that to 8080. That's kind of more standard proxy port. Then, or 3128, I guess is what it uses. And then once you've done that, you start Squid up, and you'll have to point your browsers to use Squid. I've got a link to an automatic JavaScript configuration utility that'll do that. Once the browsers are using that proxy server, you're going to see a big improvement on your network across the board. But that's not all Squid does. Next time, I'm going to show you how you can use Squid to block sites and to slow down that guy who's hogging all your bandwidth down the hall. We'll show you all that next time. Back to you guys.
Stay where you are. We're going to be answering more of your tough questions with another live call. But up next, it's a 7-mouse shootout. Find out which gaming mouse is right for you from 15 to who knows how much when the Screensavers continues.
Introducing the Chevy Equinox.
Give it to me, give me a stop.
Every garage will want one. An American revolution.
This year, Sirius Black has escaped from Azkaban prison. Everything you expected. Only one will die tonight. Will be transformed.
Expecto Patronum!
Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. Rated PG. Now play.
Romantic.
Want to warm things up?
Trojan Man!
Looks like you two were about to bump the buoy. Well, here's the new Trojan Warm Sensations condom.
Warm?
Yes. Cool. A moisture-activated lubricant creates a warming sensation both can share.
I'm on board.
Warm Sensations only from Trojan, America's most trusted condom.
Tropical, dude.
The pleasure you want, the protection you trust. My job is done here.
Surf's up.
The Dymo Label Writer lets you highlight, click, and print perfect labels in seconds, saving you valuable time versus standard sheet labels. Dymo is compatible with both PC and Mac and works with popular desktop software. The Dymo Label Writer fires off labels fast, so you can focus on more important things. No matter what needs a label, Dymo saves you time-o.
For icy cool breath. Any place. Anytime. She Winterfresh.
Winterfresh Network, where icy cool breath is always on.
Clear to land. Traffic, say 2 jets.
Imagine zooming to anywhere in a split second. Imagine 40 times mega zoom and lightning fast autofocus. Imagine what we can do together. The new 4-megapixel Dimage Z2. Another digital breakthrough from Konica Minolta.
Now that Barb and I are both regular,
we're free.
Have you been injured in an accident? Dinner in a box.
Depression and hair loss are not uncommon.
I take Zecra, and it's batter up.
Just 3 minutes a day.
3 minutes a day. You too could have abs like Minnie. All it takes.
Hear 100% commercial-free music on the most listened-to satellite radio service, Beyond AM, Beyond FM, XM Satellite Radio.
Is that amazing or what? Right now, it's time to check with the fine folks over at Tech Live to see what's coming up tonight.
Well, let's talk about TV Guide Gone Wild. Reviews of your favorite shows written with an edge. Tonight on Tech Live, well, I'll tell you what, we're going to be hanging out with couch potatoes, hired to write ruthless recaps of TV's hottest shows. Can you imagine that? For a website called Television Without Pity. You may have heard of it, but now you're going to see it.
It's an awesome website.
Oh, you've been there before, Patrick?
Oh, once or twice.
You've written for that before?
No, but you know what? I can always aspire to.
I'm sure you got some buttes in there.
Is that on Tech Live tonight?
Yeah, oddly enough, when Tech Live is...
right after the screensavers.
Oddly enough, right after the screensavers.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, the man, the myth, the legend, Chris Leary, Tech Live tonight, right
Thanks,
after
guys.
this show.
All right.
Thanks, Chris. Right now, let's check in with Joshua. He's got some gaming mice.
That's right. No longer does the avid gamer use standard phones to play. We all know that. There's gaming monitors and keyboards and mouse pads and, of course, mice. So we have technical analyst and our favorite lab rat, my favorite lab rat, here to explain what sets these apart from a regular mouse.
Hey, how are you?
So, you were at E3 all week. I was at E3 all week, so we've been talking gaming and been infused with games. So let's talk about gaming mice.
Okay.
Number one.
Well, if you want we're just going to cut right to the chase. What is the best optical mouse that I've ever held? It's Logitech's new MX510. This little baby right here, it's an update to their 500, the MX500 series, and which is one I currently own. And I've got to say the main improvement they did was increase the power of the imager, how fast it actually takes images of the surface, which they measure in megapixels, much like a camera. And what they've done is bump it up about another megapixel per second over the 510. What that does for you, it means it basically tracks as fast as you can move your hand, which, and if you want to do a quick 180 or something like that, it's not going to suddenly jump the mouse to the top or the bottom of the screen, which usually if you flick a mouse that can't handle fast movements, it'll usually dive the cursor to the top or the bottom, which means you're looking up at the sky or looking down at your feet. And that's a dead giveaway of slow imaging.
So that kind of stuff, is that how a regular mouse is going to differ from a gaming mouse thing? Well, that's one thing. Like some mice are real small in my hand, or they don't feel right, or they have a weird bulge in the wrong place.
Everyone's different. It really comes down to you actually putting your hand on a pointing device. You got to make sure it fits. It's just like like shoes.
Right.
That's why it's so hard to buy shoes over.
And they just said gaming shoes. What's the next one?
Next one, actually, if you needed an ambidextrous design, and Logitech, this is also one of their MX series. That's the image series. This is the 310 model. A little bit cheaper, about $20 cheaper, and it's ambidextrous, like I said, and it also includes a thumb button on either side. A little bit lighter than the 510 model, and it also offers a pretty nice, it doesn't have the comfortable rubberized grips that the 510 model does, but for good value and the ambidextrous where you can use left or right hand just as easy, it works just great.
Now, one thing that's nice about these mice that have the buttons on the side is a lot of the games take advantage of all the extra buttons on a mouse.
Definitely, and that's something we should probably talk about too as drivers. One way or another, for gaming, I say don't bother with the drivers. When you just plug any USB mouse into a computer, it'll use the built-in Windows support, and that basically assigns mouse buttons 1 through however many are on there as button 1, button 2, button 3, and just about every game will support that nowadays, so you can bind things individually. What happens is when you install software, it'll actually reconfigure it to how the software wants the button to be.
So we had that problem with the LAN party machines.
So that button 5 would suddenly become, say, left keyboard shift, which the game was already using that for something else in the first place, and suddenly it just becomes very difficult to remap everything the way you wanted it, and it's just painful. So if you are a gamer, I say avoid it. Hopefully they'll just put a switch in the driver so you can just go back and forth. It's because some people in like office applications and productivity suites, it's nice to have all the additional features for like forward and backward on a web page or bring up my current
But for gaming, you don't need
But for gaming, nah.
This mouse.
Actually, let's...
Yes.
Microsoft's latest optical design, the IntelliMouse Explorer 4.0. Also, like Logitech, their imaging hardware is fast enough to keep up to your hand. Sweet, sweet mouse, very comfortable, and it has this incredible scroll wheel.
That's a great wheel.
Which it is great because it's completely smooth. There's no ratcheting action. And it tilts left and right, so for side-scrolling through documents.
But it doesn't have ratcheting, so like if you're skipping through guns or something, it would be hard to.
Therein lies the big problem. Okay. For games like Unreal Tournament 2004, as you try to switch a weapon, if you use the scroll wheel to switch weapons, you'll find that you'll push it forward a little bit, nothing might happen, then you push it forward a little more, and then suddenly it skips 2 or 3. Everything. And after about 2 or 3 times, you're just like, okay, I just can't do it. And the drivers don't allow you to bind the left and right, the scroll sideways to specific buttons either, so you couldn't even do it in that fashion as well.
Next
awesome mouse for everything else.
Got to move you along.
Okay.
You know too much, Robert. You just want to shut up and keep going.
Patrick Norton clued me in. It's like, hey, look, for $20 you can get Microsoft's regular optical scroll wheel mouse. Offers almost identical performance to the regular one, but it includes, hey, the ratcheting motion that you're custom and love. And you can find it for less than $20.
All these are optical so far.
Yeah. Ball mice, there are a few out there that are worth maybe checking out if you're into it. You know, it's a preference thing, but in this day and age, it's just easy. You don't have to deal with the cleaning issues. You don't have to open it up and scrape them out.
Right.
There's less wear and tear, and honestly, unless the buttons break, they should last forever.
Right.
Yeah.
What's this weird one?
This is something a company in Berkeley sent me. You can check it out at gamingmouse.com.
Figures, those hippies out there making,
but you know what?
Those weird mice.
This one's arguably the most unique. First, it's the way you hold it. It's the RTR 720. And the key is that it's basically made to be held with 2 fingers like that. And there's 3 hypersensitive buttons along this side where this finger is right here. And with 5,000 actuation, which is not a lot of space, it's really just a little quick squeeze right there. And there's actually, you can see where that little red dot is, the kind of mark where the...
So you'd hold it and slide it around.
Yeah, it's like basically you're working it like that, and you leave one finger up on top. Highly programmable, customizable. Cool. They include all the software you need to not only bind button presses, but button releases, scripted functions, macros, things like that. Awesome. If you are tired of large mice, every mouse seems too large for you, it's not sensitive enough.
That might be the one.
That is something worth checking out.
What about this little sleek-looking one here?
The Razer's latest optical. It is most people are familiar with their boomer mice, which are their big ball mice. Up to 2,000, 2,100 DPI in that case. This is a 1,000 DPI optical mouse. Pretty good, but I just didn't find it could keep up with very quick hand movements. Overall, I like the shape. It's very lightweight. It's ambidextrous. Only has the regular 2 buttons in the scroll wheel, and there's no thumb buttons. If that's important to you, you'd probably want to look elsewhere.
And then we got this last one, just for fun. Yoshi modded a mouse and put a fan in it a while back. This is an actual production.
Nyko's famous for their airflow controllers. This is their version of a mouse that contains a little fan inside that blows out. Keeps your hand cool, and it's adjustable 3 different fan speeds. $15 too, which is in an 800 DPI
That's nothing
mouse.
for a fun little mouse.
Not at all.
But your
Works
favorite
really well.
is the maroon bugger down there on the end.
High performance, holographic red colored MX510. It comes in a couple different colors, but for comfort, performance, speed, features, it's hard to beat.
Cool. We're going to have you do a roundup of gaming keyboards.
Sure.
For us sometime.
I have it.
That's the next one.
You've got $15.
Okay, got to be quiet. Quit talking. For a link to Robert's article, go to the screensavers.com. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Joshua and Robert. Coming up after the break, find out how to mod your cable box, or can you? We're going to talk about that right after these messages.
Honey, we're pregnant.
Oh, let's get to work.
Twins. Didn't see that coming.
Morning, baby.
What's so good about it?
Mood swings, perfectly normal.
breast pump. Ow.
There's an accident on the 20, so take the parkway.
Life's better with the Butterfly. Come see all the ways you can get more done at MSN.com.
For dry, red eyes, Clear Eyes is awesome. It removes redness and has an ingredient to moisturize. Wow. The difference is clear. Clear Eyes.
Hey, where are you off to? Some conference in Cleveland.
Oh, yeah? Who with?
With Cooper. Cooper.
Who's naughty on this plane?
This guy.
How much do you make?
Drink. Because it's not as much as I make, I'll tell you that much right now.
Sort by shortest flights. Another way Expedia makes it easy to find the trip you're looking for.
Expedia.com.
You selling gift wrap today?
No, Mr. Long. I'm wrapping my dad's Father's Day gift.
Outside.
My dad's inside. Can you hold that, please? Cut here. Fold here. Put your finger there. Perfect.
Give Dad this DVD player from Radio Shack, just $39.99. Or this 2-megapixel Fujifilm digital camera, only $99.99.
Mr. Long, did they have Father's Day way back when you were a kid?
Radio Shack.
Oh, no.
Consolidate bills and lower your monthly payments now with a no-closing cost home equity loan from Ditech.com.
How can they do that?
Call 1-800-DITECH1 or log on to Ditech.com.
Get ready for the Big Funny. How big is it? Let's do the math. Wednesday, June 16th, we're bringing together 2 rich girls.
Let's see, license, registration.
When is registration?
5 wild kids.
My retainer's caught on your braces. Oh, my God!
And 2 rap stars.
My name is Nancy.
Like I'm gonna remember that.
For the funniest night of the new Fox season, The Simple Life 2. Quintuplets, a bonus Simple Life 2, and Method and Red. The Big Funny begins Wednesday, June 16th on Fox.
What are your dreams? Do they include playing video games? Or making video games? Or both? Applying now for our new Valley-wide scholarship, open to all residents of the Valley. Hurry, the deadline is soon. Call 1-800-906-2500 now. That's 1-800-906-2500.
Are you getting caught with unhealthy credit card debt as you try to balance your life? There is hope. There's 800 Credit Card Debt, an approved debt management company established to get you back on solid ground.
800 Credit Card Debt can eliminate penalties, reduce interest rates, and make your monthly payments smaller.
Call right now for your free and confidential credit card debt analysis. Call in the next 5 minutes to see how fast you can get out of debt. Call 1-800-453-1306.
The Shootout Monday Show. Better solve Graham and Snuff Mile with some of his amazing inventions. Make sure you get all your data on all the data on your hard drive unrecoverable before you sell your computer. Plus, Kevin compares performance of Windows XP on an Apple PowerBook compared to a Windows PC running Windows XP. It's all coming up on Monday's show. Lots of good stuff. Right now, Lewis joins us on the phone from Long Beach, California. Hey, Lewis.
What's up?
Hey.
Oh, hi. Yeah. I wanted to know if I could mod my cable box so I could get all the channels.
So you want to get the channels you're not paying for. Is this what you're asking?
Yeah.
So you want to know how to mod your cable box with a descrambler?
Yeah.
Do you know, we are a cable television program, and the only thing that's more likely to get us thrown into jail than telling you how to crack DVDs is probably telling you how to descramble the coded signals on your system. However, Lewis, have you been on Google lately?
Yeah.
I bet with some careful searching, you can figure out some great ways to hack cable service and probably go to jail in the process, depending on how on top of it your local cable provider is.
So it depends upon how ambitious you are, though.
Yeah, or how ambitious they are. I mean, basically what you're talking about doing, Lewis, is theft of service. It's not uncommon. I've known a number of individuals who've thrown $20 to the cable guy to get stuff accidentally turned on. Do yourself a favor. Don't do it, man. It's bad karma, and it's also likely to get yourself in big trouble with your local cable company. They have bigger lawyers than you do. He hung up on us.
Oh, no. Yeah, I was
He was like, well, I didn't get you. Anyhow, seriously, man. Pay the money. Get together with your friends. Good
All
luck.
right.
Uh-oh. Stay where you are. Assuming we're still here, we're going to check our inbox and see what's on your minds coming up when the Screensavers continue.
Come see the show in person. If you're going to be in the San Francisco Bay Area and you'd like to join the Screensavers live on the set, go to www.techtv.com/ticketline for information and to request tickets. Go there so we can see you here.
At CDW, we ship over 100,000 IT products to customers every day. So how can we do it even faster? One word: wormholes.
Need security fast? CDW and McAfee Web Shield appliances can stop threats before they enter your network. Now get a free spam killer with your purchase.
Now I just need to figure out that whole space-time continuum thing.
For top-brand IT products shipped out fast, you can always count on CDW for the right technology right away.
At Scrimp & Save Rent-A-Car, you get more than just the lowest rates. To prove it, we're introducing a new service. Personal navigators in each car to give you directions. We'd love to put real navigation systems in our cars. Who do you think we are, Hertz?
Hertz offers Neverlost, the in-car satellite navigation system that makes getting there easy. It's your trip. Rent wisely.
Tech TV as we look at the games taking this year's trip to G4ia, the awards show for gamers. This week, meet the nominees for Best Graphics, Innovation, and more.
Feels good to be the Deagle Double G.
The journey starts next. The Road to G4ia, Volume 1, presented by EB Games and Jeep.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for emails. What you got, Boo? Boo?
Hi. Time for some final emails, huh, fellas?
Yeah.
Okay, this female wants to know, help! I just got this HP for Mom's Day, and how can I protect it and me from the internet bad guys?
Oh, man. Internet bad guys. You want to put a firewall on it. If you have a broadband connection, we highly recommend getting something like a Linksys router, a real simple box. If not, we have some links to free firewalls up on the website, and you also want to run an antivirus. AVG's antivirus from Grisoft, GRISOFT.com, is a great one for free. If you get something like Norton Antivirus, make sure you update it because they've been having some critical updates that need to be in place if it's going to actually protect your system.
Yeah, real quick, John Crump wanted us to thank his senior editors, Dick Nervous and Sky, the best female modder in the world.
Props to them for keeping his website up. It's a good thing.
Do we have time for more?
Sure.
Okay. This is definitely a Yoshi question if I've ever heard one. I'm building a new PC, and I'd like to make it as quiet as possible. I want to go serial ATA. What do you suggest?
Ooh, quiet serial ATA drives.
I like the Seagate, the Barracuda 5s.
Is that the one with like the serial bearing drives, or the?
Yeah, they're the liquid bearing drives, and they also have the foam on the bottom, helps keep the sound a little
They're
deader.
really quiet.
You might want to get a cage that actually suspends the drive. That's a lot of the noise comes from the drive making noise, going to the metal, and that just transmitting through the side panels. So.
The funny thing is, if you haven't bought a drive in a couple years, almost all hard drives, even the 10,000 RPM Raptors, are much, much quieter than they used to be in the past. But fluid bearing? Fluid bearing. He's getting ready to go play with the racing game.
I'm just jonesing for it.
Do we have time for one more question?
Sure do. Okay, this student at UC Davis, they have an unencrypted network out there. Beware, UC Davis students. Anyways, so he wants to know if he goes onto a banking site, are the packets going to be able to are they going to be able to are they going to be captured?
Okay, so like you got a network, right? Basically, if you're running over a Wi-Fi network, what's happened is the connection is between your browser and the secure server at the other end, right? So you're already running over an open network if it's running over the internet somewhere between UC Davis and your bank. Trust me, it is. As long as you got the little lock in the corner, that means you've got the security turned on, and you have a secure connection between you and whoever you're running that connection with. Yoshi, I think you've waited long enough.
Okay,
thank you.
I'm going over.
He's going to sprint over. We want to thank.
Got a race.
We want to thank everybody on the screensavers. We want to thank John from Gruntville for coming out here. And Yoshi, ladies and gentlemen, we've got the volume turned down because otherwise this thing would probably do some damage. Thanks again to John Crump and Robert and Aaron. We'll see you next time. Have a great night.